Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Favi, and welcome to Arrows DIY. On my channel, I love creating Dollar Tree DIYs, high-end dupes, thrift flips, and the occasional trash to treasure. Here's another episode in my fall series, and today I'm sharing some of my favorite tier tray decor pieces with a vintage flair as part of the minis challenge hosted by Corie over at Crafted by Corie. Be sure to check out the playlist below and Corie's channel linked in my description box. Now to get started, at the Dollar Tree I found this mirror and I thought it was so pretty. It has beautiful detail work on it, and we're gonna take this back in time with a coat of paint. So I painted in my favorite antique gold by Folk Art, and I love it because it's super pigmented, so I don't have to give it too many coats. But as you saw there, I had a little bit of white paint on it, so I did focus the paint on those spots. And since the mirror is black, I thought it would help with the whole vintage vibe, so I kind of dry brushed it. I wasn't too fussy about the paint job, and I focused mostly on the scalloped edges, and sometimes I even pounced the paintbrush to get the paint into those nooks and crannies. Here's the paint I used, and I love this paint. And then I take a wipey and I wipe the face of the mirror while it was still wet. You could also use a razor blade to scratch off some of that paint, but I didn't do that. So once the mirror was somewhat clean, I took this transfer I found at the Dollar Tree. I thought it was so perfect for this DIY, and I'm so excited to use it. So once I got it all centered, I used a craft stick and I scratched it very, very much. Now, if you find that when you're lifting the film, that a little piece is still stuck on there, you just want to place it back down and rub it some more, and it transfers pretty well. So now I'm just going to call my butler to come over and do a good job in cleaning this mirror. Now, to give it more of the fall academia vibes, I'm going to put this beautiful mum I got at the Dollar Tree. I just had it in my stash, so I just hot glued it like so. And then I thought it would be nice to kind of add some lace and some sheer ribbon. So I took a burgundy sheer ribbon and a blush sheer ribbon from the Dollar Tree, and I just folded it like so, hot glued it in place. Then I put a little bit of this lace I got from BB Craft on top. And that's how it turned out. I think it's so pretty and delicate and perfect for fall decor. So this is what it's looking like once it's all done. As you can see, the black is still peeking through, kind of giving it that bronze antique effect, which I love. But let me know in the comments below what you think about this one. It's totally going on my tier tray, as you can see, but I love it so much. It really doesn't look like it came from the Dollar Tree, right? I mean, tell me the truth. Let me know in the comments below. Now for this next one, we're going to make this book stack. I thought that these little Bibles I got at the Dollar Tree were perfect. The perfect size for a tier tray. So I love book stacks actually being, made of books. So I just thought that this would be perfect. So I'm not going to ruin this book because this book is life. I love this book more than life itself. So I'm going to try my best to wrap this up with some brown paper. Dollar Tree does sell brown paper in rolls, but this one came from the mail. This brown paper was, used for packaging, so I just saved it because I save everything. And now I'm just going to fold the edges like so. I made sure when I cut it to leave about 1 inch on both sides. And then we just fold both sides. I wish I could explain this better, but maybe you could just see it and know what I'm talking about. And then I just wrapped the paper around the covers of the book on both sides. And then I just fold it in. Nothing too fancy. I mean, I'm pretty sure you could be as technical as you want with this part of the DIY, but I just wanted to fold, I just wanted to wrap these books with this brown paper. So I did this for all 3 Bibles, and then I wanted to secure it with some tape. So I just took some masking tape, also from the Dollar Tree. Everything's from the Dollar Tree because I only have one opportunity to buy all my things in one store, which is why I do Dollar Tree DIYs. If you're clicking on this video for the first time, welcome. My name is Fabi. I'm a mother of 5 and I DIY for fun. So subscribe if you're into that. All right, so once these 3 are wrapped, we're going to stack them like so. And I love the gold with that brown. I just love that mix. Oh my goodness, it gives me all the feels. Now I'm going to take this napkin. I got this napkin from Brandi over at the DIY Struggle. She sells so many napkins and it's just amazing. So I'll leave her link in the description box if you're interested in some napkins. I got these at the end of the season. She had like a sale going on, and you know me in sales. So I'm really working on building my napkin collection. So yeah, expect more decoupage DIYs coming up in the future. Okay, so as you can see, I'm fussy cutting this. Now, you do not have to be as fussy as me. It's just I was just having one of those days where I was just taking all my stress out on this napkin. Like, this is the fussiest cut I've ever made in my entire life. I'm not sure I could ever do this again to this level, but I sped it up for your pleasure. I hope you enjoy this. And once I fussy cut the living daylights out of this napkin, I separated the plies. Sorry if you hear my kids, they're in the house. Okay, so now I'm going to take these book stacks. I'm going to take these books and I'm going to mask tape them together with the masking tape just to keep them in place. Now this is actually what it felt like. This is in real time, so you can feel my pain for 10 seconds. Okay, 5 seconds. But can you believe this? Oh my goodness, I'm insane. Okay, so once it's fussy cut, I'm going to go ahead and decoupage this. I'm using Mod Podge. Any Mod Podge will do. You want a nice soft paintbrush, and I'm just going to take my time. The baby was taking a nap, so I just took my time because I really wanted this to look professional. And I mean, you could skip this altogether. You know, if you have IOD transfers, use those. This napkin was the closest thing to get that effect, and I love how this book stack turned out. So I think it was well worth the effort, and I do this for me time. So that's why it does take time. I'm never gonna lie to you. It does take time, but it's so much fun. And the finished product looks so beautiful. So as you can see, I'm just taking my time. I did not speed this part up so that you see how delicate and how slow you should go to get a beautiful effect. It's very important that you start from the bottom up and that you make sure that your paintbrush is lubricated the whole time. If your paintbrush gets too dry, it can tear your napkin. So be very, very careful. And as you can see, some of these pieces are very, very thin. So I was just kind of like crafting on the edge here. I was kind of like, So as you can see here, I'm just decoupaging, adding some of the Mod Podge to the bottom layer first, putting a nice thin layer, slowly painting on section by section of the napkin. If your napkin tears, it's not a big deal. Just line it up nicely, take your time, add the Mod Podge. So now I'm going to go, some of the other pieces I just decided to cut into different sections just so that I could control the piece better. But as you can see, I'm just adding that bud right under, taking my time. And once most of the flower was decoupaged on, I thought it was safe now to take apart the book stack. So I took the tape off so that I could decoupage the rest of the flower. And I do speed this up because I think by this point you're getting the point. You're going to apply a nice thin layer of the Mod Podge and section by section paint on the flower. So as you can see, it's very important that the first layer underneath is on first, and then you could go ahead and decoupage the top of the napkin. I always start from the center of the napkin, painting my way outward to the edges, just so that there are no air bubbles form, section by section. and it all works out. I did the same thing for the yellow flower. I picked this napkin also because I thought that this particular flower would look good through all the seasons. So this book stack is probably going to stay on my tier tray year round because I love it. I really do think it's so cute and definitely my style. It's very vintage, botanical. I love it. If you want another dried flower DIY, I'll link that video right here where I dried some flowers and made some wall art. So it definitely matches one of the frames I made a couple months ago. Okay, so once everything's nice and Mod Podge and sealed, you do not want to touch the top of your napkin with your dry finger because it could literally peel off your napkin if it's not fully dry. So now I'm going to go in with some of these rub-on transfers, which are an amazing alternative to decoupage if you don't want to go through all that toil and labor, which I love so much. We're going to go ahead and cut one of these images off. I thought it would be cool to add more of that academia vibe. So I picked this black and white one. Well, beige and white one. Well, black and beige one. Oh goodness, words. All right, and I'm just using a craft stick to scratch it off. As you scratch off the transfer, you'll see that it kind of changes color from that dark color to more of like an opaque color, and that just lets you know that your transfer is fully transferred. Now I just kind of cut it with the craft stick. I just couldn't find my X-Acto knife. I'm sure it was right in front of me, but once you cut and separate the transfer, you just want to rub the edges of your book so that the transfer is nice and flat against all of the bindings on the book. That's what I'm doing here, and I'm sorry about the angle. I don't know, I was really into it. So I forgot I was supposed to be showing you. But that's what it looks like. And we're going for a vintage vibe, so if it's a little bit cracked, I'm okay with that. Now I got one of these greenery picks from my stash, and this came off the fern pick from Dollar Tree. And then I got another one of those leaves that kind of had a purple tinge on the tips, and it kind of gave me the fall, you know, feels. So once I had those sticking out of the book, I stuck them out of the top book under the front cover. Now I'm just going to take some twine and wrap it around. I made sure that the beginning of the twine at the bottom had about 8 inches so that I'm able to tie it at the top at the end. So once I wound it around about 4 times, I just did a crisscross formation in the back with the twine, brought it up to the front, and just wrapped it up like a brown paper package. I thought it was really cute for the vintage vibe we're going for. I thought it was very farmhouse and charming, kind of like a handmade gift. So I left the tails a little bit long because I love that. And now I'm just going to take this lace from my stash. These are from BB Craft, like I said earlier. I'll always leave the links for you guys in the description box if you're interested in this particular lace, but you could totally use any lace you have on hand. The ones from Dollar Tree are really cute as well. I absolutely love that lace one from Dollar Tree. All right, so I left the tails long because I love that. And I cut one a little shorter for absolutely no reason. And this is how it's looking. And that lace, I just slipped it underneath the knot and then just double knotted the bow. And that's how I secured the lace. All right, so for our last DIYs, I just got some ceramic pieces from Dollar Tree. The pumpkin with this beautiful leaf detail, and the pine cone, as well as the acorn. I want to paint them all to give them kind of a vintage effect. So for the pine cone, I painted that in a chalk paint called Maui Sand, which is like a grayish purple, kind of. And then the white acorn, I just painted that in sheepskin. And now I'm going in with this green color called Fiddlehead Fern, and I'm just painting the grooves on the pumpkin. And I'm just trying to accentuate those little features on there. And once the green is on there, I go in with this folk art color called Mauve Dust, which is like a lavender, more like a grayish lavender. And I just love how these colors look for fall together. While the green fiddlehead fern color is still wet, I go in and I mix, kind of dry brush those areas. Nothing too fussy, just trying to blend the colors together. And I do want some of that orange to peek through as well, because I think it gives a beautiful mix for fall, even for Halloween decor if you're into Halloween. I don't do Halloween on my channel, or in my house, but I could definitely see this pumpkin working for a glam or a fall or a Halloween type of decor. Now, once everything was dry, I went in with some white wax and I just applied the white wax liberally, let it dry a little bit, and I just wiped it off. Then I painted the top peduncle in that gold color, the same antique gold color from the mirror. And once everything was nice and dry, I'm just adding the same leaves that we had from it's actually from a sunflower pick from Dollar Tree. And I'm just adding them right to the corner like so. And I'm adding some of these gold berries. I got this from a Michael's pick. I literally have like one Michael's pick from like 5 years ago, and I'm still picking little pieces off of it. Then to seal the deal, I just added some of this yellow Queen Anne's lace, which is like one of my favorite flowers from Dollar Tree. This Queen Anne's lace is so beautiful. Kind of looks like baby's breath. Absolutely love it. And that's how my little pumpkin turned out. I think it's so beautiful with the mix of colors and the white wax in the creases. But you gotta let me know, what do you think about this one? I think it's so fun. Looks so good with the florals that I'm using this fall. Okay, so for the acorn, I gave it 2 coats of the sheepskin color. It's a chalk paint. And then once everything was dry, I wanted to add this transfer. Now, I was told that this transfer is terrible, and I just had to know for myself. So yes, I bought it against other crafters' advice. So I just got this transfer and I cut off the word in the corner that says love. This transfer is not like the other transfers. I am going for an academia vibe, which means, you know, scholarly, and I thought that this kind of gave it a pencil look. So it kind of looks like it's penciled into a notebook, and it kind of has the same florals like the botanicals, the same vibe I'm going for. So that's why I thought it would be perfect for this acorn. So now I'm just going to go in, center it, and keep it in place with my finger. I think you would maybe want to use some painter's tape. I did not, and it worked all right. So now I'm just using a craft stick, and as you can see, I'm just scratching the transfer onto it, and it's transferring pretty well. However, it's a lot fussier than any other transfer I've dealt with. Well, except those gold ones. Those gold transfers are terrible. Never buy a gold transfer from Dollar Tree. I'm telling you, I've tried it. So now I'm just scratching and scratching with this craft stick. You can use anything, a credit card, anything that has a sharp edge. And this is how it transferred. I don't hate it, but it's definitely not a clean look. I wasn't going for a clean look, so I like it. Once that's all done, I go in with some antiquing wax, and I wanted to go a little heavier on the top of the acorn, and then I went a lot lighter just on the top of the acorn and the sides, going in an up and down motion just to kind of accentuate the acorn shape. So for the top of the acorn, I went in a side to side motion to kind of, you know, accentuate those little ripples at the top. And then at the bottom of the acorn, I went up and down to kind of, you know, give the direction of the acorn. I think you guys know what I'm talking about. Words. Words are hard when you're recording. Okay. So once I was happy, I wanted to go a little light. The camera's not really picking it up. I'll show you in a second, a little closer. but I wanted a lot of the antiquing wax off of my brush so that it was more like a faint distressing, and then some parts to be a little tiny bit heavier. You could always add more antiquing wax. It's a lot harder to take it off. So I advise going little by little, adding on as you go. But you see, it's very faint, but I think it's still tasteful. But let me know in the comments below what you think about this one. Now, to seal the deal on this little acorn, I made a little tassel out of some yarn I got from Dollar Tree. It's like I don't even know how to explain this color. I want to say like a blush coral color. I don't know. I thought it was beautiful. Perfect for fall. So I made a tassel using some twine. And now I just wanted to attach it to the top of this little acorn to kind of give it a softness, but kind of like a vintage vibe. So hopefully you can see what I'm saying. You could totally use embroidery thread as well. That would be really pretty, but I like the softness that this adds. It kind of reminded me of the fall cozy vibes, so that's why I went for the yarn, because it was a little bit softer. So you gotta let me know what you think about this one. I left the knot at the top very rustic, so I just double knotted it on top and then cut off the twine and kind of left the excess twine a little long for the rustic feels. Then I just cut the tassel across to make it nice and neat, you know, make it look less raggedy, more regal, and that's what I thought looked cute. Now for the pine cone, all I did was distress it with some antiquing wax, and then I just wiped it off once I applied the antiquing wax, and you'll see it here in a second. But let me know what you guys think about this one, and I really want to know which one was your favorite in this video, and if you try any on your tier tray. I love vintage decor, so let me know if you do too. So here's the final reveal. It's a little longer than usual, so you guys can get kind of the whole feel of it all together. I really like how all these turned out. I want to know what you guys think about it. I'm dead serious. I really want to know your thoughts. Say hi in the comments below. I love to hear from you guys. And consider subscribing if you'd like to see more of what I make in this house. I have so much fun creating, and it's just very relaxing after a long day to dabble in something creative. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a big thumbs up. It's totally free, and it goes a long way. So I want to thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today, creating with me. I really appreciate it. So don't forget to check out the playlist link in my description box below. I'll also leave it in a pinned comment. That way you guys could check it out for more. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, take care. God bless. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye. If you like this video, here's another one you might enjoy.